gotta be a malfunction.
No.
This megalodon is moving at a much faster speed than any we've ever encountered before.
Every time you attack the shark, it simply reacts in self-defense.
If you're interested, just step inside.
The shark is part of the ecosystem. It keeps coming back because the Earth needs it to.
The UN directive is clear. Total extinction of the species.
Power to maximum, weapons online.
Kolossus.
Soviet project from the Cold War. More powerful than anything the world has ever seen.
It will lay waste to every major city unless we find the men who built it.
Death, destroyer of worlds.
Prepare Trident missile.
Leave the megalodon away. You just stop that nuke.
Well, everybody, welcome to Shark Attack Sunday. Is that what it is? Shark Attack
Yes,
Sunday?
you got this one right.
Confused with all the titles. I still think it should be Shitty Shark Sunday, but this...
That's a little too close to Madeline's Shitty Shark show.
I hear you. But if anything is considered a shitty shark movie, boy, have we got the culprit for you. I'm your host, the Moo Cow, otherwise known as Paul A Presenza, and I am joined this time by
Jonathan Moody, your co-host.
Yay. And our special guest this time is
I'm Sebastien Godin. Hello.
welcome.
All right. Hey, how you doing, Seb?
I'm doing well. I'm well. I'm excited to talk about sharks fighting things that sharks shouldn't realistically be able to fight.
Realistic. There's a key word right there. So the shitty shark movie we are doing this time is Mega Shark versus Kolossus. I'm guessing this is the fourth and hopefully final in the series of Mega Shark films, which are sort of like, you know, Sharknado's crappier, even less of a budget sisters. For sci-fi, this one's like, this isn't, you can't even blame this on Wild Eye. This is Asylum, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is the Asylum.
The company that will literally vomit forth anything onto the screen. This one is bad. It's really, really bad. I don't know where to begin with this.
I was just checking to see because I thought it was the fifth, and then you're right, it's the fourth and final one for now. I don't know if they're going to do another one.
I keep getting them mixed up with the Shark to Puss movies because they also did like 3 of those, and like Shark versus X. I just get them mixed up.
Yeah, actually, Paul did too earlier. We were talking right before the show, and he mentioned he said Mega Shark versus Whale Wolf, and I said I think that's Sharktopus. And they're very similar.
Oh yeah,
Sharktopus is the Gamera to Mega Shark's Godzilla. That's how I always look at it.
That's a good way of looking at it. I mean, they're all pretty much plotless, ridiculous, cartoony horse shit, but at least the Sharknado and the three-headed shark movies, some of them, they're kind of campy fun, and you get the feeling that the people involved sort of kind of cared that it made even a tiny minicum of sense, whereas in this movie I don't think anybody cared at all, like at all.
No. Well, okay, so this was the second movie in the Mega Shark movies directed by Chris Ray.
Chris Ray.
And Chris did Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, which I actually really like. It's more fun,
Ding ding ding.
But this one was just, I think, honestly, I'm gonna blame Ileana Douglas.
Poor Ileana Douglas.
I love her to death, but it just did not feel right. She just
I felt so bad for her.
But she didn't feel right in this movie. Like,
she shouldn't be in this movie.
I was, I was pretty perplexed because, whenever these movies, they always get like one or two B-listers to kind of put on the cover and all that. And, you get your usual suspects. I know Eric Roberts was in one of these.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. But Ileana Douglas, man, that felt really off. Like, first of all, what's she doing in it? And second of all, is the guy or a girl who's going to pick up a movie called Mega Shark versus Colossus really going to go, oh man, Ileana Douglas?
Oh, I felt so bad for her.
That was probably the thing, though. They knew that like anybody who was picking up this movie is picking up for the Mega Shark itself. At that rate, they didn't even have Debbie return.
Are you saying they're not buying it for Ernest Thomas, Raj from What's Happening? Come on.
Oh man.
Wait till I tell Mama.
Out of the cast, the only one I was really excited to see was Tim Abel, who's like a regular of Chris Ray's, and he's always like one of the most dependable character actors in the roster. Totally wasted here, by the way.
Which one was he? Which character was he?
Was totally wasted.
He was one of the soldiers at the beginning with the long, greasy hair and the beard.
Okay, well, so I thought the really funny thing was you mentioned Ernest Thomas, right?
Right.
And he played a character named Admiral Jackson. And the whole time I because at first I go, is he doing a Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, hell impression? Yeah. I'm sick of these mega sharks in the mega fucking ocean.
Why didn't they say something like that? I mean, if they're going to go that way, go fucking all the way with it. I mean,
because Samuel L. Jackson would have found them and beat the shit out of all of them.
Like, don't steal my act. Ooh.
Because as bad as Snakes on a Plane was, even that was better than this film. This was appalling. And I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Just none. It doesn't even bother, not even on a cartoon level. Yeah. They just didn't care. They said, we have a big shark, we have a big robot. That's all anybody cares. The rest is just incidental.
Big Shark. That's the movie I want to see. The Tommy Wiseau Big Shark movie.
Usually I go off on how cheap and shitty and crappy and just nonsensical the special effects are, but it doesn't even matter because the story is so bad. You guys are screenwriters. Please, somebody enlighten me how anybody could write such a thing and think that they can just put this out as a film.
So my impression when I was watching it this time around was, because the Mega Shark's kind of like isolated in terms of the story. It's like brought up here and there throughout, and it's never that much of a focal point except for like the beginning and then towards the end. I felt like this was originally a standalone script about a rampaging robot that got retrograded into being a Mega Shark movie.
Absolutely. I was going to say, this feels like two separate, shitty, half-baked ideas that they said, we can take 30 minutes of this footage and 25 minutes of this footage, and all we have to do is shove them together and film about 5 minutes of the two of them fighting, and we'll break it down into little 5-second clips that we use over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's an instant film.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree. And you know what? So yeah, I didn't actually think that, but now that you're saying it, totally makes sense for that, because when I'm like thinking about the movie, I was just like, there's two separate storylines here. There's two different groups of people, it doesn't feel like even the same movie. And then, I'm like, when are the two going to meet? Like, that's what I want to see, Of course, we have to wait till the fucking end of the movie. So we get the beginning of the movie, kind of cool shit happening. Middle of the movie is boring as fuck. And I don't know why anybody would like continue watching it on TV, and then the end of it's okay. But, go ahead, Paul.
Enlighten me. What is this cool shit at the beginning that you're referring to? Because I can't think of a single bit.
I don't know. I like the Team Unicorn shit.
Is it? Yeah, it's the hot girl Navy. That's what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And I liked them fighting the shark at first. And then I liked Colossus getting out, and shit. But aside from that, no. It was crap.
I'm kind of with Jonathan. I'm a big fan of like team dynamics versus monsters. Like, I'm a big fan of like mech stuff and things like that. So like that aspect actually grabbed me. I even thought like the CG on the shark wasn't that bad by Asylum standards.
Mhm.
But then you saw the
Setting the bar
CGI
low.
but then you saw the CGI on Colossus, and you're like, oh, okay.
No, it goes back to being the asylum.
Yeah.
We just watched Shark Attack Sunday. We did was it Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, and honestly, we thought that was trash. And
Oh my God, a new definition of trash now.
I know, like, wow, I'm actually missing Giant Octopus.
This movie needed Lorenzo Lamas.
Every movie needs Lorenzo Lamas.
Yes,
true,
it does.
true that.
No, and Debbie Gibson, like those were
Right.
fun. They had a
Right.
chemistry in a way. Like when they were arguing with each other, I was like, "Oh my God, this is fun." This didn't have
Yeah.
any of that.
No, I other than Ernest Thomas, who was just going shoot, 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 more. Other than that, I think the actors did okay with what they had. It's just, I just felt bad. I mean, Ileana Douglas, we've seen her in much better roles in much better films. Tara Price, who played the commander, she's been in a few things. She's directed and written some stuff that's really good. It was just a shame to see her in this. Even Christopher Ray, I mean, the way he shot this and this weird, shitty, shaky cam every time there was action, purposely done, by the way, so that everything is blurred so that you don't get a really good look at anything, because you could tell everything was cheap and terrible. Like even the inside the fake airplane that they were flying around, you could see curtains in the background, a la Ed Wood. It was bad.
I also wanted to bring that up, is that like Chris Ray can direct when it's like something he cares about, but every time I've seen him do one of these movies, you can tell that was like a show up for 2 weeks and get it in the can and get me out of there type job.
Exactly.
I like Two-Headed Shark Attack. I had a fun with.
He directed a movie that was like a passion project of his called Circus Kane, and that was actually like a really fun little slasher movie. And it's like, well, okay, so the dude can direct. It's just like, it makes me wonder, like, outside of the paycheck, why he would agree to keep doing something like this, where he clearly doesn't care.
Right. Minutes to Midnight, he also did that movie, and that was really good.
Yeah,
So
that is a fun one.
Yeah, so he's really good. He can be really good.
But I can't even blame the failure of the film on him either. I mean, I wouldn't say that he was terrible, but he doesn't get in the way of himself. It's not really that kind of a film. It's all about the writing, if you ask me. Yes. And it's Edward DeRuyter who did the writing. He's the guy who also plays Spencer, the nerd with the heart of gold. And the movie is just so poorly written.
Well,
it just makes no sense.
The problem with the Asylum is they come up with the ideas like the day that they write it, And so if they're like, give me a Mega Shark movie today, pretty much. And the people write it as quickly as they can. And pretty much, because I worked on Collision Earth with them, and I sort of saw that, like, the writer, I became friends with the writer. He had a role, in the movie too. And so, when I watched him, like, a lot of it was just, military jargon, and shit. And I'm just like, because I had to memorize like military jargon lines, and I was like, I don't like this, like, what does this even mean, and that's how I feel when I watch these movies. Is they probably don't even
Mercury.
know.
Ooh.
Right, exactly. They probably just say these things, and they think like, okay, people aren't going to care because it's a stupid shark movie, and they're not there for the plot.
Clearly, but somewhere in the back of the minds of when he's writing this, you've got to think someone's thinking, the shark is like snatching supersonic airplanes out of the sky with ease. Why couldn't he catch up to Ileana Douglas on a little speedboat going 70 miles an hour?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't, you're right. I didn't think about that, but in retrospect, that's kind of stupid.
Dude, the entire film is filled with these ridiculous things that they just didn't care, and they're just banking on the fact that nobody else will care either. But I care. I
You know
like to
what?
have my movies have at least a nodding acquaintance with reality as we know it.
You know what the main weapon of these movies is that, at least for me, about 20 to 30 minutes in usually, my brain goes into autopilot and I'm not even really watching anymore. I'm just looking at the screen. So I'm not processing any of this.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, like a defense mechanism, exactly.
I recommend not watching this movie when you're in bed. You know, you're just
No.
gonna fall asleep.
I
you know?
recommend not watching this movie, period.
No,
See,
I
that's why
recommend
they
watching
premiered
it
like-
if you like the Mega Shark
To,
movies.
to
because-
you, Jonathan, you thought it was boring. To me, because something grotesquely stupid was happening every 5 seconds, it was so infuriating that I couldn't possibly be bored.
And you know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, stupid is fine as long as it's entertaining or if it's like in tone with everything else. Things that happen in this movie are stupid and boring. You can
Zero fun.
yeah, exactly. There's no joy in it. There's no glee in it. So, and you know, you watch a movie called Mega Shark versus Colossus. If you're watching that movie, you want to see two monsters fight.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Didn't they call them Monarch in the movie too?
they do. That's the other thing I was gonna bring up. This is a total fucking ripoff of the legendary Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
They-
Appalling.
Which I got really fucking pissed at actually when I heard them say Monarch. I was like, they're fucking ripping off Godzilla, you know?
Oh,
like,
and then like Ileana Douglas is like, oh, the Mega Shark is here to restore the natural order, like she's Ken Watanabe in the Godzilla
Right.
movies, and it's like, what the fuck is this? This is like so illegal.
Nature needs a megalodon, so it makes itself. What the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, that's asinine.
Just like you know, Raj summons a Triton missile. He orders a Triton missile, but the footage shows 2. So now they have to wiggle 2 in there because somewhere along the line, the footage they got had 2, so they had to work that in there because 2 is better than 1.
I agree.
oh my god! So this movie was just.
And it's even funny because it's like the guy he target Mega Shark. Like, what the fuck would the computer even know? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you have
Target
to
Mega
give
Shark.
coordinates.
I love the radars that have the shark like on there like that. Like,
Yeah, it's like
like,
going around in a circle. Like, what does that even show? It's not showing anything.
I think they did that for Giant Octopus too. Like they had like the octopus and the shark or something, you know. And I'm just like, really, like radars don't pick up stuff like that. Like they don't have like a image of a shark on it.
And
like
all the
that's not-
chicks have these like nice little spaghetti strap halter tops. Even Ileana Douglas, who still look pretty good, by the way, at age 54 at that point. They just didn't do that to Tara Price. Unfortunately, they chopped her hair really short and put her in a butch uniform and made her look awful.
She looks so young too, and
No,
it made me
she's
feel
cutie.
awkward that she was like the commander. So I was like, she looks like a baby. Like she's probably old enough to be the commander, but like she didn't look like it, you know?
Yeah, and then towards the end, she's like, I guess they let her have her hair down or something because she looked like she was out of uniform. You know, by the time they're trying to figure out the stuff, and then they go into like some underwater lab for all of 30 seconds to grab something, and then they're out. And that went so quick, and it was all a bunch of 5-second cuts. I couldn't even tell you where it was or what it was. You know?
I got infuriated by the twist with the guy, like all of a sudden being
eco-terrorist.
Yeah. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, you know, like this, and why do we even need this? You know, it just was
It was
so ridiculous.
so bad.
Yeah.
Seb, did you get infuriated?
Did I get no, like I was too bored to be angry, honestly. Like I just got numb to it. Like, I don't know. The way I looked at it was, yeah, this is about what I remembered it being. And come tomorrow, I probably won't remember half of it.
Well, it's funny because before the show started, you know, we were talking, Paul and I were talking, and we said that or you know, we were wondering like what you would be thinking about this because you actually own this movie, you know.
I do.
So
I actually, it's funny because I was like putting together a bunch of DVDs I'm selling because I'm making some extra space, and fuck, I tossed this right into that cell stack.
Yes.
You're not going to save it? Oh my goodness.
No. Going back to how illegal this movie felt in the sense that it wasn't legally distinct in the slightest, I also wanted to make mention of the Colossus itself, which is such a blatant design ripoff of the Attack on Titan anime, which, if you're familiar with, has a monster that looks exactly like this. It's like a skinless giant man. And I was like amazed. They just took a 3D fucking model of that thing and gave it some robot parts.
I mean, why even make it look like that? Why even make it humanoid? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is they kept talking about it's like it's this living bomb, and I kept thinking, well, wouldn't it be cooler if it was like this giant sphere with spider legs instead, something that looked like a bomb maybe, instead of a giant flesh man? Right.
And then, I guess the eco-terrorist guy ends up controlling both of them. He calls them surf and turf, which is probably the best joke in the whole thing.
It is. But that did make me smile.
He's able to get a hold of the shark because the Colossus puts some of the red mercury inside the shark. So what is this, like a wonder miracle drug? It fuels all these things, and it also makes you hypnotize megalodons.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It looks like the fucking thing from Attack.
I wish we could put them together, like right next to each other, right there. Oh my god, they look. That's incredible. I didn't. Yeah. I'm not into anime, so I didn't know that. But like, now that I'm looking at that, that's
nerd
a
of all
fucking
trades here. You can't get anything past me.
Well, I mean, the asylum is so lucky because they have like the best lawyers in the world, because they get sued every fucking day or something. So they can just
maybe they should take the money away from the lawyers and put it into one of the movies.
Yes, put it in the creative, please.
And do something original and not rip off Attack on Titan.
Well, Jonathan, when I was on your show and we talked about their Frankenstein movie, we talked a lot about how they started off as a decent little company making these low-budget horror movies, and then something happened, and now they make shit like this. And I wish they would go back.
Well, the problem is that sci-fi enables them. Sci-fi will buy this crap. Sci-fi will splatter anything up on the screen just to put content out there.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like a case where sci-fi commissions these movies from them or not, but either way, it's like not a good working relationship.
And you're up in Canada, which I blame for this, by the way, but
oh shit,
you guys don't get sci-fi, so you had to find it on another service, right?
Well, no, in Canada we have a station called Space, and Space airs everything sci-fi gets like a month or two after the fact. It's like the same basic station, but we're way behind on everything.
After the turd gets really stinky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you already hear about how shitty these are, and then you're like, oh well, now I have to watch it.
Yeah, like I don't have cable anymore, but back in the day, I would like read reviews for each of these things, and then I'd wait, and then I'd see it for myself, and I was like, yep, it's exactly what I thought it was.
So poor Canada's up there like, okay, you're giving us the worst possible movies, USA. Okay, we're going to get you back. We're going to give you Rush. We're going to give you Celine Dion. We're going to give you all the crap.
Hey, Rush is amazing. I will not handle any Rush slander in my press.
Oh,
I like Rush, so I'm there with you, Seb.
Thank you.
No Rush bashing here, so yeah, that's funny that you guys, and it's called Space. I was talking to you earlier about it. I just thought that was a really funny kind of nod to them. I mean, it must be the same company, I just don't know why they do it like 2 months after, but I mean, so you guys haven't even got the Chucky series yet.
Actually, what's another channel called Showcase picked up Chucky, so they're airing that just a week apart from you guys here.
Oh, okay. So you're looking at Facebook going, no spoilers.
Well, see, the thing is that with Chucky, since I don't have cable or I don't pay for Showcase, I just need to wait till it's all out to see it. So yeah, it's going to be a long time of dodging.
I tell you, this kind of took me by surprise, because originally I wanted to do a movie called Sharkman.
Yeah,
but
Hammerhead.
we couldn't. Well, it's not the same film. It's a different film. And Moody was like, he can't do that. And I was like, okay, well, let's do the Mega Shark versus Colossus, which was a bad mistake on my part. And let me tell you, man, all week I've been stewing about how Moody made me watch this movie that I absolutely despise called 8 Days a Week. I hated that movie so much. Man, this movie made me hate it even more. I hated this one so much more than that. It's just,
if we watched
that movie, they cared a tiny bit.
If we watched Sharkman, at least we could have had some Jeffrey Combs and some William Forsythe. And instead, we've got nothing.
Wait, hold on. So you said it was a completely different movie, Sharkman.
I think it is. I don't
think it is. I think it's just changed. The name's just changed.
I was going to say, because when I looked it up on IMDb, it had a couple alternate titles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's the same movie because, yeah. And so I just think it's a different, that's whatever. If they made two movies, one Hammerhead, one Sharkman, and they're starring the same people, that'd be awesome. But I don't think that's.
Well, yeah, the one is 2001 and then the other is 2005.
Huh.
Which one are you talking
It's
about?
just confusing because William Forsythe looks to be in both.
Jesus. What? Imagine having two movies with the same title on your resume.
Oh, wow. So Sharkman is Sharkman. Holy shit. So
Yeah,
which one did you want to see?
2001, Jeffrey Combs does not seem to be in it. At least he's not listed.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
We would have watched the other one. We would have watched
2001 is the Brian Meese directed it, and 2005 is Michael Oblowitz.
Yeah, and the 2005 has Jeffrey Combs, and the other one
right
doesn't.
now I've seen that one. I actually own that one. That's bad, but it's at least kind of fun, and it's miles better than this one. I just never seen the other one.
Poor William Forsythe.
He's just two Sharkmans.
Two Sharkmans. One, I would just call it Hammerhead anyway, because like that's the way I knew it always as Hammerhead.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. It's a Hammerhead shark man, character. So like I'd rather have that as the title. But anyway,
no one's
we
gonna
didn't do
confuse
it. We did
this movie with
this
anything.
one instead. So Mega Shark. So we're about at our time for our rating.
Oh dear.
And explain to Seb, because Seb hasn't been on Indie Film Cafe yet, which we're gonna get you on at some point. Seb.
I'll be happy to.
Yes,
okay.
we know you. We know you love these kind of movies, so we'll get you on. So explain the rating.
We have a stinkometer in which we rate our movies 1 to 10, by which the smaller the number means the less stink. So if you think it's a pretty darn good film, you might give it a 1 or a 2. If you think that it's kind of meh, it's got some stink, but it's not too bad, you might give it a 5. And if you think it's a big steaming pile of horse shit, like this movie, you might want to give it a 10. The higher the number, the stinkier the cow pie, basically. And if you feel kind of subtle, you can give half steps. You could give it a 5.5 or a 6.5, something like that.
By the way, every time you move, Paul, the Colossus moves with you.
I know.
Like I see it behind you.
He's
moving.
my buddy.
Scare me.
But basically, on Indie Film Cafe, we then take our 3 scores and we total it up, and then we figure out what the stinkiest movie of the year is. Now, we haven't been quite doing that for our stinky shark movies.
Yes,
but
we have.
We still
this
score them,
season. This season, we haven't been putting them down in a list, and I'm going to write out a list before the end of the year so we can talk about that in the recap.
Yeah, we're going to add them in because why not?
Right. So I guess Paul, I'm guessing I know what yours is.
Oh
Yours
yeah,
is
I'm
gonna
just
be-
going to jump in and tell you right ahead. This was a 10 for me. This was a bona fide 10. This was so bad. It was so poorly made in every conceivable way. Even some of the decent acting could not save this or pull it out of the shark chum that you were just forced to swim in this. It just, and like I said, yeah, I know you guys found it boring, but I was so angry most of the time. It's kind of like being hit with a dead fish over and over and over. You get used to it after a while and you get bored by it, but then when it keeps going, you're just going to get angry and angry and angry. And that's kind of what happened with me. So big fat 10 for me.
How many dead fish do you get hit with?
There was an hour and a half worth right there.
All right. I'm gonna give it a 10 as well. It was worse. I don't remember what we gave Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, but we did not. I think we gave it a little less than this.
Yeah.
Thank God, because this definitely deserved it. I don't know why they did. I mean, I kind of know why they never made any other Mega Shark movies after this one, but okay. So
The
how about
sticker
you?
that killed the franchise.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna be a little bit of a devil's advocate here. I'm going to give it a 7.
Wow. All right.
Because you know what? It was bad. It was terrible. But you know what? It existed to fill a time slot on the Sci-Fi Channel. I won't remember it come tomorrow. No harm done.
I mean,
That's my way.
I could film an hour and a half of me cutting my toenails and it'll fill a time slot on Sci-Fi. Come on.
Yeah, my way of looking at it is, yeah, that was bad. At least it's over. I'm not going to remember this. So
At least you didn't give it a 5, or something.
no,
or
I don't believe in that middle of the road bullshit.
See, I'm going to remember it for a long time for just how much hate it generated out of me. It's just so hateful.
It was trash,
Yes.
But you're right, Seb. It could have you'll never remember it really. Like, I'll forget about this movie and I'll be like, yeah, see Mega Shark, and I'll have to watch my Shark Attack Sunday playlist and see if we did it already.
Fun trash. If it had been fun trash, I would have given a lower score because not everybody makes great films. I get it, but it wasn't even fun. It didn't even try to be fun.
I think this was Chris Ray's last Asylum outing, and I think he was over it. He was already done, and he was just like, I'm moving on to my own shit. And I don't blame. Like, I've interviewed Chris. I love Chris. And I think I've asked him about all his movies and shit. And I think he just understands, like, the Asylum has a way of doing things. They do it. You're kind of directing, but you're not really, you know what I mean? You're not in charge.
Yeah.
The Asylum is.
Yeah, you're there to get it finished. That's it.
Right.
That's all.
Just make it, because like everybody else in the crew's like, pretty much already been working on these other projects together. So they're just
sure. I very much doubt he had anything more than zero creative content in this film.
Yeah, I think he
just
said
push buttons.
Yeah, he was just put the camera right there. Let's shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, it's not even stylistically anything cool. It's just
no. They tried to do some like interesting stuff here and there with like some nice dolly moves and stuff like that. But like there's snippets. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
5-second snippets of shit. That's what
Ow.
Some of that. Yeah.
This is an Alan Smithy film. That when the credits came up, every single credit should have been Alan Smithy. Acted, directed, written, all of the production labels. The show ought to have been Alan Smithy.
He's so multi-untalented.
Yeah.
Poor Alan Smithy, man. I wonder, like, what if there was a guy named Alan Smithy in this world, and he's like
out there sobbing his heart out now.
I know. He's like, God damn, I'm to blame for every one of these.
There's a movie about that.
I know.
There is,
Burn, Hollywood, Burn.
Yes. I have not seen it. I heard of it. But
it's not very good.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's better than this. Let's put that to rest.
Yeah.
Did they credit themselves as Alan Smithy for the direction of that movie?
No,
that should have. That's like a missed opportunity right there.
But I'm gonna be going to bed tonight thinking, poor Ileana Douglas. My image of her is sullied forever.
She got paid.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. I agree. She probably got paid. That's it.
But it's the Asylum. How much could she have really made? Not much. I mean, I looked on her IMDb page and she's not really doing a whole lot recently, which is a shame. And it just goes to show you, in Hollywood, especially for women, your choice of roles gets narrower and narrower the older you get. And you go from being a darling in the indie film community to doing this kind of horse shit for probably pennies on the dollar. So it's just depressing. I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, I just feel bad for her.
Yeah, but I wouldn't feel too bad. Most actors I know will always say it's better to have work than to not have work. And whether you're doing, a big Hollywood movie or you're doing a Mega Shark versus Colossus, a paycheck's a paycheck.
I mean, I get it. And that's why I'm not surprised to see the likes of Ernest Thomas swimming in these kind of sewery depths. But Ileana Douglas, come on.
But
who signed her up for this?
She had to have agreed, she read the script. She, you know what I mean? Like, she did it, it's not like you have to blame her for herself,
Somebody,
let's say
broke in her house and kidnapped her by gunpoint and dragged her to the Asylum Studios and said, you will do this shitty shark movie or we will kill your family. That's what happened.
Let's say, like, ballpark here. Let's say she was on set for 6 days, maybe 7 days, shows up for a week and gets paid more than anyone else around her. I think that's a pretty good deal.
I guess.
More than the hot girl Navy?
You know what? Maybe
they probably, they probably are only there for a day.
Moody, you recognize one of the hot girl Navy chicks, didn't you?
I know all of them. I know Team
okay.
Unicorn. I mean, I don't know them like personally, but I wish I did.
So they should have been your fucking guests if that's the case.
Yeah. So, well, I don't think they'd want to talk about this movie. Claire Grant, who is actually Seth Green's wife, was in a Lifetime movie that I was in. I didn't recognize. I'm very bad when it's like real, meeting people. Like I worked with Shannon Doherty and didn't know it, that kind of thing.
That's
like
funny.
I just don't realize it. I don't I don't see it. But later I'm like, oh shit, that was Shannon Doherty. She was like close to me, or whatever. Holy crap. But that was the same with Claire Grant. I was like, oh crap, that's who that was, because I knew she looked familiar, but didn't know. And she was Team Unicorn's been around for a little while, and stuff. And Riley Vanderbilt, or I think that's how you say her name, was the other Team Unicorn girl, Riley, and she was Adam Green's girlfriend, and everything. So both of them were in this group with some other people, some other girls, some hot girls, and they did these short films and these videos and stuff on YouTube. And I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't think they are. I think kind of all separated and went their own way. But it was great seeing them. Like, I loved seeing them. And it's just it was like unfortunately they didn't need to be in it, because it didn't serve any point other than hot girls killing people. They're trying to kill the shark.
Eddie the shark, yeah.
And then
was the best
blow
part
themselves
of the
up
movie.
for no reason. Like, she could have ejected herself or something, but she was like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna blow myself up. And I'm like, all right.
Moody, come on. Echo Lake Universe needs a hot girl Navy. Come on.
I mean, I'm down with that, but Team Unicorn, come call us. Well, we're down with that. But
yeah, believe me, I want to take every friend of mine who's in the Navy or been in the Navy and sit them down and watch this so they can just fucking laugh and just go slack-jawed at just all the ridiculous horse shit that they're trying to portray as being Navy. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was terrible. Thanks, Paul. You picked a terrible movie.
They didn't have Sharkman.
That's true. They didn't have Sharkman or Hammerhead.
You always blame the Canadians because we won't do anything about it.
You did give us William Shatner, so I mean, come on. I give you guys a break.
Okay,
Good.
and he
You're
did
welcome.
just go to the fucking space,
And Cub, which is one of my favorite little indie bands.
So there you go. But yeah, so thank you so much, Seb, for coming on today. And
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry, we gave you such a turkey.
He owns it, so I don't feel too
I do.
bad.
That's true. Oh my god.
Like, now he's not
back
gonna
there
own it.
like,
He's gonna
man,
sell
I
it to
really
some-
like this movie. I probably shouldn't tell them that.
He's gonna sell, he's gonna sell it to some poor
gonna be like,
person who's gonna be like, I can't, I want to own all
Mega
those.
Shark versus Colossus. Well, I love you so much.
He's gonna sell it to somebody who's like, I need Mega Shark versus Colossus in my life right now.
Define need.
Apparently somebody's gonna buy it from you, so you have to need it somehow or
Yeah.
whatever.
You know,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I may have to look for it and buy it myself as a way to torment people.
That's
You know, I love to
that-
torment
that's
people.
so cruel. That's so awful.
This is what he does, and he gets mad at me when I torture him with other movies, And then he's like, "I need to torture you more," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ!"
I made him watch Pink Flamingo, so I've gotten him back for a lot of the shit I've had to watch from him.
Oh, that's true, and that'll be on What the Fuck Friday coming up. So, but yeah, that was. I mean, at least I enjoyed that more than this movie.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
mean,
Citizen
well,
Kane.
Jonathan, it's because Pink Flamingos is what we call a film.
Right. It is. Even if it has a woman that's like eats eggs in a fucking playpen. Like,
No,
I mean,
there was a vision there. The people making it wanted to make it. Like,
right?
That's right.
No,
John
I
Waters
agree.
cared.
I agree. By the way, Seb, it's funny that we talked about that Pink Flamingos. Guess who wanted to watch it with us and ended up watching it with us and doing a special guest?
Is it Dustin Hubbard?
No, Kate Phoenix.
Oh shit! I love Kate.
And
Yeah,
she hasn't
yeah.
seen it, so it was perfect.
Yeah, so she got to watch it with us. Where she
Loved it.
we just filmed the Love Spell, where she's the actual lead of it.
Oh,
So
cool.
the short. So yeah. I love working with her like every time. So
It was great because every time there'd be something up there, Moody would like, oh, 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 and Kate and I would be like, yes.
I miss Kate. I miss the old Florida crew.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you mentioned Dustin Hubbard because that, and I was like, oh no, close, but Kate.
Yeah. I was thinking like, fuck, who do I know who
That I know.
Jonathan's also good friends with? Yeah.
Yeah. And she said nothing but great things about working with you guys. She misses working with you guys too. So
She is she's such a go-getter. I'll plug my stuff right now while I'm here. Speaking of Kate Phoenix, if you want to see her or anything cool, check out Like Animator. It's available on Amazon and probably a billion other places.
Is it
check
on
out
Tubi
Slime
yet?
Waves. Not yet. It should be.
Okay.
But
It should be because Wild Eye puts a lot of shit on, a lot of their shit that's shit. And then there's Like Animator,
which is
they should
shit,
put-
but it's crazy shit. So
well, they should put it on there because I mean, but anyway, I reviewed that for 31 days last year, 31 days of indie horror.
you were one of the few who stepped forward and helped me clear the record when they released the wrong cut of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. It was just, I heard it was dependent on what version you got.
Yeah, dude. So if you buy Like Animator, look for the edition that says Raw and Extreme on it. That is the complete cut. The version prior to that was a rough cut.
I wonder
Unfinished.
if they put it on Tubi, which cut would they put on? God,
I hope they put both on.
I mean, can we get the real deal from either you or Dustin?
No,
You can get some from Dustin. Dustin has copies.
Dustin, okay.
Yeah. Also, you said Slimoids, and Slimoids just got a re-release, didn't it?
Slimoids is now available on a double feature with Dino Gore from SOV Horror. Pick it up while you can because it's a limited edition, only available for 1 month.
SOV,
And when's that out? Is that in November?
November 1st.
November 1st. I'm gonna pick it up actually, because I've been dying to watch Dino Gore, and
Yeah, I
stuff.
recorded new commentary tracks for both movies. They've got some interviews with Dustin and with Jacob Dressler, who wrote Dino Gore or co-wrote it, and some trailers of my newer stuff.
And we reviewed Slimoids for the Film Cafe.
We liked it.
So we enjoyed it.
One of the actors from Slimoids, Tyler Levesque, he loves that review so much that he always brings it up whenever I see him.
Oh, that's good. We really that's the thing. Like, people got to understand, and you understand this, Seb, that when you make a movie, you're going out there, you're putting your heart and soul into the movie. And if it's not good, people will, let you know, and there's some movies that everybody has different tastes. Like right now, the big thing that's going on is Halloween Kills. Like, some people like it, some people hate it.
Very polarizing. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very polarizing thing, but it's understandable. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, and that's okay, you know. And if we don't like something, we let people know, but we still let them know they can get it, you know.
Yeah,
'Cause
you know.
well, go ahead.
So I was gonna say my logic is always I'd rather make something people hate than something people are like about. Love it, hate it. The worst thing you can tell me is that it was okay. That's
right. It was meh.
yeah. I have friends who hate my movies, hate them, and we laugh and we joke about it because I'd rather hear that than hear. It's fine.
We have said on Indie Film Cafe the cardinal sin of movie making is to be boring.
Yes. I agree.
Which, I mean, you know, I think Mega Shark kind of did, but
I was gonna say,
Paul, you know,
I was so angry.
you hated it so much.
I did. I hated it. It was so stupid. It was just the stupidest thing.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't enjoy it. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I love Chris Ray and I love him to death. And I hope he doesn't, I'm sure if he listens to these reviews, he's just like, you know.
So Seb, when are you going to write Cal Pyre versus Were Ninja?
Shit, when do I get paid?
I know. Well, if somebody
it's
paid him,
a story that demands to be told.
Paul, you have to put up the funding for that, and he'll do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get the money for that one.
Oh, I've seen Dustin's movie. That's what, $50? Come on.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
oh. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
You know,
God damn.
I've never made anything that cheap yet.
Not $50, but
no.
You know, I don't know. It's the thing is, I mean, people make movies that are, you know, for, you know, cheap or whatever, and they still come out good. And I think we enjoyed Slimoids, and I'm sure that didn't cost.
It's not so much the movie, how much it costs. It's how much people put into it. You know, you look at that. I don't know what that movie, the Shark versus Kolossus. Nobody seemed to really care. I mean, the actors maybe, but none of the production people seem to really care. And it really, really shows. I would much rather watch, you know, a little independent movie that has 2 dimes and a ball of lint to pay for it and is not very good, but at least they're trying. You know what I mean? That's a big thing for me.
I think that the average on these asylum movies is about anywhere between 100 and 200,000.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys a little something after this. I don't want to.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, I don't want to
some
on the
good
air.
shit, but I don't want to. I can't say publicly just because I don't want to get in trouble. But I know some things. Let's just say that. You know, and I work with people who work on the asylum, and they get paid pretty damn good. You know, like I'll say that. Like I know one of the makeup girls that worked on it for a while. She got paid pretty damn good. You know, for her job. So I mean, they really do. You know, they really do care about.
Well, and I have to watch it because I know they're going to try and steal my idea for the 3-headed mega hedgehog movie that I'm trying to come up with. So I have to be careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want them to steal that idea. They're watching. They're watching.
They are. They're waiting.
They're always watching because it was funny. So I used to interview the guys from the asylum, and the guy David Michael Latt reached out to me, and I was like, "Oh, you know, I'm glad you're checking this out." And he was like, "Oh, I just want to make sure they're not saying anything that'll get us in trouble," you know. And you know, I understand that. So I'm sure when they watch these reviews, they listen. They make sure, you know. But anyway, thank you so much, Seb. Thank you, Paul, for picking this trash.
Never forgive myself.
Thank you all that been listening this season. We will be back next season, probably. I'm gonna say in the summer because that should be when shark movies are, you know, or whatever start. So we'll start putting them out again. And I think we'll stick with doing the ratings and everything and finding 3 people at least to do the show with. So,
you know, Madeline Deering wants to do another show.
Oh, I know. She's been, you know, begging for another episode. So we'll do it. We just did 90210 Shark Attack. You're gone. That was just as bad as this, if not worse, you know. So
and Shark Exorcist 2 will be out by then.
Oh,
so many unanswered questions from Shark Exorcist 1.
Have you even seen Shark Exorcist 1? I don't think you have, Paul.
Who? I mean, I just said the title. You've just seen it.
Okay.
You would think. You would think.
Yeah.
Donald Farmer movies are a world of their own.
It's
Exactly.
it's amazing. I told Moody earlier, House Shark. I hated House Shark the first time I saw it. I thought it was a complete piece of crap. Then I showed it again to a friend, and I was like, this isn't so bad. I can deal with it. By the third time I saw that movie, I totally enjoyed it. I was like, I get this. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. I totally dig it. So you never know sometimes, sometimes repeat viewing helps.
Ron Bonk is good people.
Ron
Yeah.
Bonk, there you go.
Ron Bonk is good. And I think that's the thing. I think more people should watch it more than once. Maybe they'll get, maybe they'll get something more out of it. But I mean, I remember
snuck up on me and bonked me on the head.
I remember I didn't like it at first, and then I thought it was, it kind of like the more I talked about it, and the more I started realizing I kind of liked it a little better. So I mean, maybe it's just the problem with doing those things is it's very comedy, and I'm just like, comedy is so hard for indie filmmakers because sometimes they just try too hard, in my opinion.
Now, after that film, I wanted to walk up and put my finger on people's face. I couldn't stop myself. So funny.
All right. Well, if you guys stick around, that'll be awesome. But everybody else, thank you guys for checking this out. Join us next year for a whole new Shark Attack Sunday season. So
This ridiculous thing over my shoulder.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
All right.
All right, that was fun.